Okay, well, thanks for joining me, Cyan.
No, thanks for having me.
Okay, so I just wanted to start by asking you if you could explain what the gold and silver ratio is.
Certainly. Basically, back in the old days, there was a thing called the price discovery mechanism. So, the price of gold and silver was determined by how much of it was found and drilled, mined, so to speak. And for thousands of years, about 5,000 years, the ratio used to be 1 to 12, between 1 to 12 to 1 to 18. So let's call it 1 to 15. So that meant gold was always 15 times more expensive than silver. And right now the ratio has gone way out of whack, and it's gold's now 65 times more expensive than silver due to all sorts of underlying fundamental reasons.
Are they fundamental reasons, or?
Yes, basically government, well, human interference really in the futures market. For instance, it's widely reported that JP Morgan have sold over 20 times more silver than has ever existed on the planet. Um, and that's one of the reasons why the prices of gold and silver have been sort of drilled down, as it were.
Okay. So does that mean that now is a good time to buy silver, or does it just mean that it's, what's your opinion?
Oh, yeah, absolutely correct. I've got into gold, silver when it was around sort of $8 to $9 an ounce. I've seen it go all the way up to 50, and obviously it's now come back down again. This is the best time in the last 4 years easily, and I currently feel like a kid in a candy shop at the moment. I'm always personally buying silver. I put my money where my mouth is. 97% of my wealth is in physical silver, not paper silver. Uh,
Okay. And so, what are the fundamental reasons for buying silver?
well, there's quite a lot, but in a nutshell, oil is the most used commodity on the planet with over 33,000 uses, but silver is the second most used commodity with about 12,000 uses, and it's an industrial super metal because it's the most reflective, the most thermally conductive, and the most reflective element on the planet. It's used in pretty much everything. All the modern day electronics would not work without silver, and there is no suitable substitute. And a good rule of thumb, people say that humans are really clever and will find a substitute, which I completely agree with. However, a good rule of thumb is that if there's nothing on this off the shelf right now, it won't be for another 10 years or so. In fact, we've already found a substitute for silver, and it's called silicene. However, silicene was found in 2004, and that's still in the prototype stages, and it needs silver to create it at the moment. So, really, we won't see any substitute of any use for the next decade or so. And one of the big reasons I like silver is the pure supply and demand element of it. Basically, because silver is formed relatively shallow in the Earth's crust, unlike oil, we have a pretty good idea of how much silver there is underground. And according to the US National Geological Survey, there's about 15 to 17 years worth of silver left underground. But silver is more scarce than it is rare, and so humans naturally go after the low-hanging fruit. So really, we've only got 7 years of economically mineable silver. And in order to go after the other 7 to 9 years worth, prices need to increase at least 1,000%. So I personally, even though gold and silver is a long-term investment, I see silver more as a medium to long-term investment. And probably the sweet spot will be any time in the next 1 to 5 years. And a part of this picture, which pretty much everyone overlooks, is that all all mining operations are 100% reliant on oil, and so silver needs to be of notable value to warrant using oil in order to mine it, because all mines rely on diesel, you see. And at the moment, silver and gold are below mining costs, and so the producers are either withholding it or going bust.
Really? Okay. And I've also heard that there's more gold above ground than silver. Is that the case?
Yes, gold increases between 2 to 3% per year in line with human population. So that's one of the reasons why gold has had value over the years, is because it's always scarce. Um, and but the thing is, as Robert Kiyosaki says, gold is hoarded, whereas silver is consumed. Uh, so yeah, of that silver supply that we've got, it's decreasing exponentially, whereas gold is always increasing in value because it's not used in industrial purposes as much as silver.
Right, right, right.
Less than 12% the last time I looked.
Really? Okay. Okay. So I was just wondering if you could, explain a bit about your company and how people can find you.
Certainly. As you know, I've been buying silver personally for years now, and then I've managed to get some good wholesale links. And as a result, my close friends and family wanted bullion or silver cheaper than the market, so to speak. And so the business started off from there really, and it's sort of spiraled up since. But I'm a very big advocate of financial education, and no matter what industry or profession you're in, it's critical. And like some of the billionaires who say that the average person can do just as well, if not better, than financial professionals, I completely agree with that. All it needs is just a little bit of financial education. So my site, I'm currently redesigning it at the moment, and it's going to be focused around financial education. And we're going to be doing things a little bit different. We've launched a thing called the Silver Saving Plan, and I'm aware that for the average person, investing in gold and silver is such a murky and a huge topic to get into, because there's paper silver, gold, physical silver, etc. And it's hard to know what to buy, where to buy it, how to store it, or etc. So the reason for the Silver Saving Plan is so that you can just set up a direct debit, and then every single month you'll get that amount of silver delivered to your doorstep, fully insured, every month. And it's a really good way of pound cost averaging your position.
Okay, and they're Britannias, aren't they? So they are.
Yes, you can choose whatever type of silver you like, or gold for that matter. But I tend to suggest going for the Silver Britannia, because in the UK, it's the only form of silver which is capital gains tax free. So that means when you come to sell it eventually, the government can't chase you for your profits.
Right, right.
So it's just an extra peace of mind, really.
Okay. And if people wanted to find you, what's your web address?
It's ukbulliondirect.com.
Okay.
And my own personal blog is siamkid.org.
Okay, and if they wanted to get in touch with you, do you have a phone number or anything?
Yes, all the details are on the ukbulliondirect.com.
Okay, that's brilliant. Okay, well, thanks very much, Siam.
No, thanks for having me. I've enjoyed it.
Thanks a lot. Bye.